Hello everybody, this is Jeff May with Team Reelin the Blues. Well, we've got us a real nice early March day here, and I'm going to go out and do a little crappie fishing. Now this is about the time of year everybody starts to get their boats out and they're starting to go out on their first trips for the year. Well, me personally, I have a habit of doing something that I think every boater should do. Nothing can ruin a fishing trip quicker than having a breakdown on the road, having an issue with your boat once you get there. So this is just a couple quick tips to do so that way you can start your trip off right and have the best trip of the year right off the bat. Well, one of the first things I do before I take a trip is I do a quick walk around in my boat. I do this, and I've got it into a habit where I do it every time I go fishing. I don't wait and just do it once a year, just once when it pops in my head. My habit is I do it every time I go fishing. It takes me about 1 minute to do the quick walk around, and in that 1 minute, the first thing I'll do, I'll go to every tire. I'll pull on the tire. I got a tandem axle trailer, as you can see. I'll take each tire, I'll run up, I'll give it a quick pull on both tires, and see if there's any side-to-side play. If you have side-to-side play, then you maybe need to look into your bearings on the tire. You'll know if you've got one that really moves. A little play is okay, but if you've got one you can really rock, you have an issue. So then you know right then, don't waste your time going on that long trip. Other thing, I'll go around, make sure all the tires are aired up. Make sure I don't have a tire that looks slack. Now this one, you can see the rims are pretty dirty because the last time I filled the bearing buddies with grease, I kind of overfilled that one a little bit and it started weeping out the weep hole, and I just haven't cleaned it off. But let's say you come out here for the first time and you look and you see that issue right there where you've got oil splattered everywhere or grease splattered everywhere. Look around the inside of your rim every once in a while to see if you've got grease sprayed around the inside of the hub there. Because if you get grease on the inside of here, what that means is more than likely you've got the back seal has went bad. Real easy fix at home. It's a pain in the butt when you're on the highway and you lose your bearing because of it. Something else I'll do, I'll walk all the way around my boat. I'll always take, and I do this every time I go fishing, I'll spin that prop. If I hear any growling or if it binds up, then I know I have an issue. I'll take care of it before I leave the house. The other thing I always do before I leave the house, unless it's raining real bad, I make sure the plug's in the boat before I ever leave the house. I see the plug's in, make sure the straps are strapped down. I'll come around this side, do the same check here. I'll check to see if I have any excess play in the wheels. Most time I'll just kick them on my foot as I'm walking by. If it don't rattle, usually you're pretty good. I see everything's nice and clean on the outside, so I know my hubs are fine. Check to make sure your strap's tight. Make sure your safety chain's hooked up. Now you know you're going to have a safe trip. And one other thing, which I think is one of the most important things, when I put my trailer on the ball of the truck, I always make sure that when I lock this down, that is latched. I make sure that the receiver in the bottom ain't been pushed up in the top, and that it's actually around the ball. Always use a bolt or some sort of safety pin in there, that way this can't come undone. And last thing I always do, in some states I think it actually may be the law, but these chains are long enough, I always crisscross over right like that. Like I said, my safety chains, I got enough play where I can back this thing all the way around. Now, the reason why I do that is this safety chain, if this thing ever does come off, and like I say, it's just a habit I've always been in, using equipment and boats all my life. I always cross them chains up like that right there. That way, if this boat ever pops off of this ball, something happens, let's say the pin breaks in there, something mechanically happens, or it just come undone, this thing drops down, it's going to drop down and it's not going to dig into the pavement. What it'll do is it'll float right here, that'll keep my truck under control while I'm bringing it to a stop. Yes, it's going to be swinging around, but at least it's not going to dig into the ground, snatch these chains, break these chains. This way it's going to drop down, the chains will catch your tongue weight, and your vehicle will still stay under control. And like I say, it's just a good habit. And like I say, my chains are long enough that I can turn the boat any way I want to and it's not going to damage anything. All right, we got this hooked up and we got our lights ready to go. The wiring all looks good. We're ready to roll. All right, now hopefully we can go catch us some good fish here. As always, I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. And if you're not a sub, consider subbing. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.